You know what, guys? Forget RT. Lu is my new favorite brawler. Even before I started using him a few days back, I knew just how powerful he was with his attack, and in my experience I'll go as far as to say that he is broken. So in this video I'll be showing you guys the best loadout to consider, as well as which modes to try him on. For a long time I never considered using Lu for really no apparent reason, despite knowing how good he is. His damage is very solid, as well as his health, and his super is just incredibly annoying to deal with. But apart from his super, the damage he does isn't so much the issue, but rather the side effect, which allows him to freeze a brawler for a few seconds. This alone is already powerful, and I'm almost positive that you can reach 1,000 trophies or even more without using any loadout. If not, then I recommend using Ice Block for his gadget, which allows him to become immune to damage for 1 second while also not moving. Now, you might be thinking, well, that sounds underwhelming. I mean, you can't move at all and it only lasts for 1 second. Well, believe it or not, this is incredible for dealing with many brawlers. For example, here I'm being chased around by this Chester, and while he certainly has an advantage in damage output, with this gadget I'm able to absorb all of his damage, which allows me to attack, freeze, and ultimately defeat him. And if you thought that was crazy, this can also work on some heavy hitters like Bull, who I just barely managed to escape from thanks to this strategy. When it comes to his star power, I'm using Hypothermia, which decreases the amount of damage you receive based on how much frost meter a brawler has. I think this is a great star power to pair up with his Ice Block gadget, but his other star power, Super Cool, can also be useful as he does charge up his super rather quickly. Now moving on to some modes, we have perhaps one of the more obvious and best choices to use Lu on, which is Hot Zone. Generally speaking, many controller brawlers do well here, and Lu is no exception. While you may find difficulty when dealing with some brawlers, especially artillery ones, I think Lu does a good enough job at dealing with them thanks to his super and overall presence that makes some players crap their pants when they see him. On that note, you can also expect him to do well on Gem Grab if you stick close to the center. The only real issue you may have with Lu is aiming his attack, because while he does shoot 3 times, you're not guaranteed to land all of your hits, and it's also a fairly slow speed. Then again, it's still better than only one projectile like some brawlers have. Lastly, I wanted to mention Brawl Ball, a mode that I rarely talk about or even play on because quite honestly it's become really toxic over the past years. Well, I'm happy to say that after playing Lu a couple of times here, not only is he really good, but he also helps to deal with some of the problems I have, i.e. Frank. At first I thought I wouldn't do so well, but then this happened. Yeah, needless to say, while the update made a couple of brawlers a bit overpowered, I'm looking at you, Ems. It's nice to know that Lu remains as the best hard counter to Frank, and to that extent other tanks. So those were my thoughts on Lu, but let me know what you guys think about him in the comments and if he deserves a nerf. Anyways, have a good day.